Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Terrence Ray. We're doing a stock market live update. Right now in the market, we got the S&P 500 futures up about a whole percent, a little over a whole percent, about 54 handles. Nasdaq futures up 310 handles, 311, 312. Dow futures are up. They were up over 500 points. Right now, currently, it's just about 460 handles on the futures, and the Russell futures are up approximately 1.5%. That's about 28 handles. And currently, we got a nice up move going today in the market. Let's see the financials. The XLF is, I would call it relatively flat, and the energy XLE is down about 29 cents. I'm curious to see if the market can hold this rally today. If you look at my screen right here, uh, I have a chart up of the triple Qs, and it's right into a resistance level. So we'll see. I had the indicators make it a little easier to see. And then even if I have to draw, you'll see that right here currently, right here where we had this big red candlestick where it broke down, took out this low, and this is where we are. I'm willing to bet that we stay right here for the rest of the day, but we'll see. Right in this area right here. This is resistance. And I am talking my book. I do have a short position on in the Qs. I'm gonna go over to that. We'll check it out real quick while I got the chart pulled up. Now, if you look over here on the right of the screen, you can see. If you're looking on the phone, you probably won't be able to see it, but if you're on the desktop, you'll see this area right here will show the current position that I have on in the Qs. Currently, I um, sold the 445 strike, excuse me, the 440 strike, and then bought the 445 for a short call spread. Let's go to the option tab and I'll show you. So you can see right here, sold the 440, bought the 445 for a $5 wide short call spread. This is a short position because I sold this option right here on the call side. So I want the market to go down right here currently is where the market is right here around what 433. And so it can stay right here and time can go by and I can get back in the profit zone. Currently I'm down about 60, $70 right now on it. We come over here to the position tab, you'll see down on that position, and I'm down on the DraftKings position. I'm gonna go over that in a minute. I just put that position on this morning, and then we can go ahead and take a look at it. Let's pull it up real quick so we can talk my way through it, which is why why I thought it was so early. Earlier, it was right here, so it had took out this high right here. So you had a low, high, and then a pullback into my sweet zone right here at the 61.8, and then it took this high out right here. And I'm glad I didn't buy a call, and I sold the option. So then I sold the 42 and bought the 37. So my short strike is right here. Um, I'll know if I'm wrong on this particular trade now. I went out into June. Let's go take out 49 days instead of being so short that this is why you don't do I generally don't do short dated option trades because you have no time to, if you're wrong directionally, you don't have time for the math to play out. So being right here, I still have, even if it goes down around 41.40, you have time for the probabilities to play out over time. And I do not believe that it'll go past this level without making an up move, but we'll see. What I wanted to talk about was, let's go take a look at, now I got the reason why I like doing the going live like right around 10 is in the TastyTrade platform. They have the Tasty hourly top equities, and they generally put this list out at 10. So this is when I want to come through and see what's moving through the stocks that are being traded the most on their platform. And DraftKings is on there currently. Let's go take a look at. We'll start from the top and we'll run all the way. Try to run through them real quick and see what we. Yeah, basically, I guess on the we had some news today. Some information come out on some. I think like some PMI, like some inflation information. And I'm reading. I'm just on Twitter. U.S. inflation stuck above target. Bank of America. A slowdown in U.S. inflation has been halted for now. Bank of America economists say in a note they estimate that underlying inflation held at 3.1% quarter over quarter for the third consecutive quarter. Let's see, following 7 straight quarterly declines, the Fed targets 2%. Even if inflation does not firm above target, inflation outcomes could cause inflation expectations to eventually move higher. They say B of A doesn't expect price increases to accelerate, but says inflation needs to trend lower to bring rate cuts into focus. And this is per Walter Bloomberg. I follow him on Twitter. He put out all the information, all the news stuff, headlines, and so a lot of times I come on here and see, like when I see a big move like this, because I was watching the futures market earlier this morning before the news came out, and the market was like basically flat. Then you seen a big jump in the numbers, and I knew some news that came out. I knew they had something coming out this Friday, but didn't know exactly what. And you can see right here with block, you can see it had gapped up as well, and you can see it retreating. So technically, like looking at this, I just see this as gap filling, right? I see the market come back filling this gap, and then we'll see what happens after it fills the gap. Same thing, I think in DraftKings. I still think that the market will turn and begin to go higher, maybe towards the end of the day. Um, let's see, Pro Shares, Ultra QQQ is being traded heavily in the platform. I don't know why people trade it. I guess I would much rather, like, if you looking at this, maybe because it's cheaper, like it's $56, right? But you could come over here and trade the chart is the same. I don't know if I'm guessing it got to be the price. You trade this because of the price, but the chart is the same, and I'm almost betting that the liquidity is better on the Q. It is liquid though. I am looking at, so it's liquid. Um, you got $5 wide on the options, 10 cent. Excuse me, not $5, 5 cent, 10 cent. Looking at the money options, and they got a price difference of about 5 to 10 cent, 10 cent, 10 cent. But if you were to come in the Qs, you can see that they're about the same, right at the money. So 10 cent, 10 cent. So maybe it's just the price. I don't trade the TQQQ XBI. Let's look at this. This is the biotech ETF, and it gapped up as well. Uh, got a little support right. I mean, excuse me, resistance right here. So let's see if you're not already in these trades though. I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would get in them. To be honest, you see that level right there. That's gonna act like resistance, but that doesn't mean that it won't push through. Maybe we'll get a pullback today, then maybe Monday, and then blow through. That's possible. I would much rather, if I see that we had a gap up on biotech ETFs, I would probably try to find some biotech stocks and then see what they look like on the day. and I probably will do that after the video. And then if I do something, check the community tab. I'll probably put something out there if I do something after the show. Right here, we got the semiconductor ETF right here. This may be a continuation of the bull market. We'll see. What is this? Net Cloudflare. Now it is down. It shouldn't even be up there right there. They must have updated. Um, Cloudflare gap down. I'm guessing earnings. Yeah, here go earnings. It's not telling me what the earnings were. Probably have to go look at it. But so they had, I'm guessing bad earnings. I don't know for sure, but it's down. So, but something like this, unless you just buying stocks, you can still trade something like this, right? But the IV rank, so IV has collapsed here. So you got to be careful about going in, doing some neutral, selling options or something like that because the IV rank has collapsed. Don't have a real large expected move, maybe a strangle. I wouldn't even do a strangle though. Like I said, the IVR is down below 30, so I would not. I probably would just stay away from Cloudflare unless you're waiting for an opportunity to buy this stock. Let's take a look at Amgen. So you see Amgen. Look at that. This gap up. This is crazy. Yeah, I wouldn't stay away. I stay away from this unless you're looking at it long term, right? Long term bet. I do think that at some point it'll take this high out up here right around 330. Let's look at it on the weekly. That'll give us a better long term view. So if you look at it on the weekly, uh, let's go 3 years. That's what it looked like. Only thing is, I would at some point I would expect to see some retracement with a gap. With a gap like this, this is a shoot 313. What is that? 278.22. That's about a $35 gap. So I would expect to see the market to come back and possibly trade around into this area. So just be careful. Be cognizant of that. Let's see. Let's go look at in phase. In phase just been in a range. I've been chopped up in here, and I know I lost some money in here. Um, just waiting on this to get out of this range. I personally, I believe at some point it'll get out of here and continue to go higher. It's just are you willing to sit in it and wait? And because I don't know when, I don't know, the stock does not pay a dividend, so you just gonna be um, you're just gonna be sitting there waiting on it to break out. Let's go look at what's next. Apple. Okay, Apple. Um, let's go. Now, Apple, I did want to talk about, right? Apple is up and it gapped up on the news that I think Apple is gonna do the largest stock buyback that they've ever done. Let's see if I can find some news on it. Apple shares jump as record buyback. Sales growth forecast lure investors. The thing about it, like with it says Apple increases its cash dividend by 4%. So let me see. Price to earnings, earnings per share, dividend is 24%. I mean, excuse me, not 24%, 24 cent. I think it used to be like 20 cent. So I'm guessing like what? So with stock buybacks, the company is gonna buy its own stock. I almost think I understand it, you know, um, providing uh providing for their shareholders. So basically the Apple's buying its own stock. It's one of them things where I don't care why the stock go up, to be honest with you, but it's they're buying their own stocks. I mean, think about it. Like you got to stop. and you got as much money, much cash on hand as Apple do. If the stock is taking a hit, look at it. If it's been drifting down and you wanted to go up, like you just come out and announce, "Hey, we're gonna buy our own stock." Then everybody else see it, and then they jump in. So it is what it is. Um, I don't know how much innovating they can do with the iPhone, and if you get into all, into the weeds, it is what it is. As far as I'm concerned, this is Apple. This is Apple making this gap, like literally, like buying their own stock up or whatever. But so let's look at it technically. I could care less why it's up. Let's look at the technicals. We had a low, up move, pull back right here to the red line in the alligator. Let's throw some fibs on and see where it can go. This is a perfect setup, by the way. It's kind of like the DraftKings one. Look at that. Pull back into the sweet area. Took out the fractal right here, and we up. Now at this point, you're just looking at, let's go find take profit zones. Now you would want to be in before the move, right? At least I would think that you would be. You would want to be in there before that. But if you were, then um I'd want to take profit at 188 if you can. You can get out there. Next level up is 200, which and then you got 212. Then the last level is I wouldn't hold it past 219. So let's see if we get that. Let's see if we get that move. If it continues to move like that. If that's the case, might not be a bad move to buy some shares in Apple and sit and hold, right? Or sell a I wouldn't sell a put spread though, because look at this hole. Now it could just keep going, but you don't know. I would, if you could get, let's see, and you don't have, let's see, got a 25 IV rank. So same thing, similar. I guess you come down here and sell to 175 if you wanted to sell a put. That's the thing about Apple, or you could sell a put in here or getting long instead of buying the shares. Your buying power on TastyTrade would be what, 20, let's just call it 2,700, and you can sell a put here and still get long, as opposed to buying 100 shares, which is going to cost you about 18 grand. And you make more money buying the shares, but you're going to have more risk, uh, just because of the fact that it's already retracing a little bit on that gap up. I just think that it may come down a little bit more, but then maybe what, Monday or Tuesday we see an explosion higher. It's possible, but this chart is bullish to me. You got divergence down here. So if we look at the oscillator, so the oscillator basically told you, like if you're somebody that look at Apple every day, I don't, but if you were looking at Apple every day, you would have seen this divergence from this low to this low. So price action continued lower while the oscillator made higher moves. So that's a clear sign when you see divergence like that. Look at price action, low, lower low. And then when you look at the oscillator, you see low, higher low. Once you start seeing that diverging trend in price action to the oscillator, you should then look for a reversal in price action. And we got just that. And then we got the gap up. So some people would say, hey, um, some people tell you, hey, it's hard for you to know where the chart is going. There are certain times when you can tell, even if you look back right here, look at the oscillator, look at momentum slowing down. Price action kept going up, and then look what happened. So you can tell sometimes when the market is getting ready to turn. Let's take a look at what we want to look at. Let's look at SMCI. What is that? Super microcomputer. I mean, look, guys. After this big up move, like the market just bang that out all the way. After that, I would expect for the market to slow down a little bit. So it's in its a retracement, I would call this probably like the fourth wave, somewhere in here you one, two, three, something like that. You got your impulse, and now you just got your chop. We already looked at block, XBI. Let's Palantir. Some of these charts look just like one another. You see Palantir gapping up, taking out, passing this fractal. It could be moving to, I would say, next level up, maybe around 25.50 up here, where the next fractal is. It's pulling back right now, right? Probably just closing the gap in. Let's look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA chart looks similar to Palantir, same thing. Let's take a look at, we looked at what's going on. What's going on with my charts? See if we can. Uh, all right. So I got my chart looking like the screen froze up. Let's go. Let's load it again. See what happened. There we go. Where we at? I looked at some Microsoft. Let's look at Microsoft. Microsoft look ugly. I don't. I don't really have not too much to say about this chart. It kind of looks like this might be like a stock pickers market because all the stocks, like some of them look like they're in a retracement phase, and some look like they're breaking out. Microsoft, uh, I'm neutral. Anything I put on, and if I was to put something on here, would be neutral. Meta, same thing. The IV ranks have collapsed since they've already had earnings. AMD, uh, continuing to, what do I is doing that? Continuing to look like it's drifting lower. Hits right here. We should look like it hit a little support. Got a gap right here, and then you got this hammer candle right here. So maybe we getting ready to get a push up, and AMD maybe it hit the lows. You still got an IV rank up 34, so you can sell some premium in there. And Micron, I don't really like its chart. Netflix, similar. I don't like its chart either. Tesla, Tesla gapped up. I thought I had some levels on Tesla. Let's see. Let's see. I guess not. So if we look at Tesla, gap up, pull back, Tesla could be getting ready to make a run. Some of these charts, guys, look like if I'm just looking at them, it look like they're getting ready to take off. Same thing with Tesla as a chart earlier. As Apple, you can see divergence. If you look down here, you can see the oscillator like that. You can see price action continuing to go down. So it left us clues that hey, it might be getting ready to turn. Amazon, Amazon is basically took out this little down move, removed that. TLT, the bonds. Is the bonds putting in a low? Could we have like a little small head and shoulders or reverse head and shoulders? Got a shoulder, head, shoulder. This might not be a bad, but maybe the bonds putting the low in right here. Got a low IV rank, so this one would be a tough one to sell premium in. What is this? Hershey. Like it's just in a lot of chop, 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 chop. Has a 39 IV rank, but it had earnings before the bell today. So this is one, to be honest with you. This is in my opinion a good stock to be neutral in. It already had its earnings this morning, so you could do iron condors might be all right in here. Let's see. Still a lot of juice in here. Now you can sell the one delta, like the be right outside the dotted line, outside the expected move, and collect some decent profit. This is $10 wide, so you need to take that one, make it $10 wide, and there you go. If you did that, probably like maybe you can come in some. Let's see. Yeah, I don't like the strikes. They $10 wide to the call side, and they $5 wide to the put side, and so I would not. I don't like the strikes, and it's not super liquid. It only has 2 stars over here on the liquidity. So if you want somebody that's having a hard time trying to judge what's liquid, what maybe you should trade and maybe what you shouldn't trade, you can always on the TastyTrade platform just look over in this area over here. You can see the liquidity. Um, Anything I try not to trade stuff with that's below 3 stars, like staying at 3 to 4 stars. Let's go. Let's jump back in. Let's look at Boeing. Boeing had another. So like I know we all know about the troubles that they've been having with one of their planes. It's one of the Maxes. I don't know, the 737 Max. I think they got different variations of it. And like the first whistleblower, he died. He committed suicide, right? Um, um, or he was unalive, or whatever they. I don't know what term they. You got to be careful what you say because they can flag your videos. But anyway, he turned up uh, deceased. And there was a second whistleblower, and I think I seen in the headlines that he has turned up deceased as well. Um, it is not profitable to be a whistleblower, not today. I wouldn't encourage it. Um, but anyway, in any event, Boeing is making lower lows on its price action, as we can see right here, right? It's continuing to go down. But if you look at this oscillator right here, it's making higher lows on the oscillator. So what does that say? We say, hey, that's showing us that momentum is slowing down to the downside. Even if maybe if you were to pull up like the volume, like if I made this volume pop, let's see, I'm gonna make the volume where you guys can see it, make it a little darker. Look on the screen, you see the volume. I made it. I'm lightening it up like that on purpose. Now, if you look at this is a little trick. You see right here how the volume was higher back here when it first started coming down. Now you can see, do you see how volume kind of tailed off right here? And you can see right here it picked up. That sometimes that can be a little trigger into being able to see like if the market is changing course. And you can do that sometimes just by looking at the volume. When you see the volume pick up, trading picks up. Look at those particular areas on the chart. So as so meaning like, possibly Boeing could be breaking out of this little area to get out of this funk. Now, if we see Boeing start to go up, like price action starts to get, turns bullish, and then the news turns bullish. At that point, which one is you know, I kind of think the news they make the narrative be whatever they want. You make the narrative fit. You can make the narrative fit your, you know, what's going on in the market. But that's just me. Go go look like after making this big up move, it's starting to tail off some. Let's see. So yeah, gold still has an IV rank of like 59. So it's a great underlying this ETF to sell premium in. Uh, I I like, let's see, if it can get down to here like right around 204, this will be a great place, a great level of support. So let's see if it makes it there. Google, Yeah, I wouldn't mess around with this one though. Just this is an ugly chart. It's just going up. It's going up and to the right. So, but it is an ugly chart. I would probably look at like something like the weekly. Let's look at the weekly. Yeah, I would if you're in it, you want to start taking profit, want to start selling, maybe selling some calls against some current open positions that you already have. To me, that's not a bad idea. Let's look at Coinbase. Coinbase, that's a long wick on that weekly chart. Here we go. Coinbase just kind of just going sideways after it had a large big move. Same thing up here. You can look up here. You see right here, we got a high. You had divergence. You had a high and then a lower high on the oscillator. So even Coinbase told us, like gave us a clue, like, hey, the market may be turning around. And then we looked at Cloudflare already. So I ran through, that was the first time that I actually made it through the whole list, went through the list of stocks, the fast movers, just you can see, remember what I said. I'm gonna take this off. I said that I thought that I wouldn't be surprised if the Qs stayed right here for the day, right here at this level. Let's see what happens. Let's see if it gets past this level. And if the NASDAQ stays here, then that means the rest of the market more than likely will stay where it's at. Now, if you start seeing this candlestick roll over a little bit next week to fill this gap, which is quite possible, I'm gonna check on my DraftKings position. What's DraftKings? So all right, it's right here. So let's see what happens with DraftKings. So right now, those are the only two um, trades that I have on in this account right now currently. And then I may go over and buy some shares in another account and possibly get back long the market. I know I had came out of the market because, to be honest with you, I had no idea what was with all the geopolitical risk. I ain't trying to wake up and the market be gap down because of those wars, right? No, right now everything has subsided, so we'll keep an eye on that, and then I'll let you guys know if it get crazy on that front as well. And I'm gonna take a look at. I know I said we looked at XBI, and we see how this biotech ETF gapped up. Now I'm going to look at. I'm not sure. I think Amgen is a biotech, but I'm not sure. Yeah, you can drop a comment in the notes and let me know if it is or it isn't. But one of the things I'll probably do, I'll show you. I come over here, and I like to keep another watch list up over here. So more than likely I come over here, then I come to, let's see, sectors. They got healthcare, so I could come to healthcare and look at put it in order of the ones that have. So Amgen is a healthcare stock. I had to look and see about biotech. Find some stocks in the biotech sector and see which one of those are moving. But these are the ones in the healthcare sector that are moving. Wonder why it's doing that on my screen. And then we'll come, take a look at these over here. I have to load that back up again. Why it's doing that? ISR is moving, and this is how I find. You check out a sector, find a sector that's moving, and then find a stock within that sector that's moving, and then trade that. Or you can trade the ETF. But you probably get a faster move in the stock though. So hey guys, hopefully you got something out of it. I will do more live streams during market hours and right around this 10 o'clock slot, so we can, check the fast movers for the day. By that time, and another good thing about, so, market opens at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time, right? Those first 30 minutes sometimes be crazy. So you get past those first 30 minutes, then the market start to settle, and you can find what trade, where you want to be and what you want to do in the market after that initial open. So, and I like to come on. So more than likely, this will be my time slot. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification so you know when I'm going live. And I do go over some trades that I have on while I'm live, like the DraftKings position and um, the triple Qs. Sometimes they go against you when you first open them up, but that happens. I still think that DraftKings will get up here and touch right around 46, maybe not today. And then after that, I like the next level up right around 49 bucks for it to tap before it's all over, before it's all said and done. Well, that guys, I'm gonna be out. Peace.